What's going on? Welcome to Mindset Monday 40 of the Ultimate Pill. I am co-host Chris, other co-host Anthony, and Mindset Mondays, we just come together, give about 8 to 10 minutes of some practical information, some feedback from the show, and more so how we're taking everything that we talked about and applying it into our own lives and our own experience. So I think Mindset Monday 40 is going to really be about that. For me today is kind of talking about like how this show has influenced my life and how the information and like the exploration and understanding that we really the process that we go through on that show live is how I'm taking that and more so what I took from 44, because that was a phenomenal experience for me. It was, if you haven't taken a listen, man, go back and just understand that him and I were in a place that we were just exploring as far as we can explore, and then hopefully come back and provide it in a practical fashion. And I'm just going to share what I got from it. So heading into a new week, I think we should just continue on the topic of meaning and what that is, what that actually is, and more so what that could potentially be. Because I think that's a lot of the work that him and I have been doing for the past 4 shows is being able to think about why things mean the way they mean. So we'll continue the topic on taking it from Anthony's perspective. He finds a lot of meaning in exploring the mysteries that he calls that sit behind life and understanding those ideas and then coming back and being in the present with them. And I absolutely love that. And I think what's cool about the show is he's doing it in that sense, which is an inward exploration, but just in like a different direction. Like for me, it just goes back to the individual. And when we closed the show, we were discussing kind of the main theme that we took out of it. And for me, it's when we find meaning in how we experience reality that I wanted to bring into Mindset Monday 40 this week, because that's what I took from it. Like the foundation of, at this point now, I have a pretty good idea of what I need. Even recording that with him, I have like a pretty good idea of what I need to personally do to live a meaningful life. And I just wanted to share that today in the hopes that maybe it's an idea that if you did listen to the show and you missed it, like let's really explore like how the experience of reality is unfolding and what we can do to find meaning in making sure that it's a positive experience. So I want to dive into what I think is going to be very important for me moving forward, is in order to have this meaningful life of expecting things to occur is going to start with making sure that my beliefs are aligned with my authenticity. Being able to like be concerned with how reality is being experienced for me sits firmly in the idea of how we are believing. For me, what I'm going to take from that show now is if I'm feeling a way that is not healthy for me and I just know that this doesn't feel good, like what am I believing about this situation? What am I believing about the literal reality that is happening in front of me? And if you just become aware of how that is being believed, then you can start doing the work that I find very meaningful, that I'm going to use this idea of how you're experiencing reality, is understanding that when I choose to increase self-knowledge, then I understand more of why I behave the way I behave and why I sometimes talk the way I talk, but most importantly, why I feel the way I feel. And then you could literally transform those beliefs into something that can support you. And what, for me, like it just seems like so practical now. It's like hearing Anthony talking about these, like all these big ideas, and like, dude, I'm just going to choose to be so curious and believe in his authenticity that this is true, man. Okay, now how can I bring all this information that he just shared, apply it into my own life in the hopes that it helps shape the believing that I'm doing about reality? And I'm seriously going to sit here, and I always did believe it before, but now I'm like, okay, there's something big going on out there. There's probably something big going on in here. And just go ahead and choose to believe that if you just become really curious and put an effort into learning and how things are happening and why things are happening, like that will in turn just create a better experience. And maybe the experience of reality will in and of itself improve. So my big idea that I'm taking from episode 44 is, man, like we can choose the meaning that we put on an experience in the hopes that it's something beneficial for us, regardless of the context. And I think that really ties back into how we're believing. So if anything this week, anything going into it, like put some effort into shaping the way you think, put some effort into shaping the way you perceive things, put some effort into understanding why you feel the way you feel. And then maybe in and of itself, that will create a very meaningful life that requires you to constantly just be putting in that effort to be the best you. And that's honestly what I find really meaningful in my own life. And I hope I was able to convey that in episode 44. But I'm just really interested in the idea of when we really get in there and understand ourselves and devote to having a healthy relationship with ourselves, like things just improve. Now, I'm not saying that it's gonna happen overnight. Like this is a journey, man. This is a process. But when we fall in love with the process, a very token slogan or term, I guess I combined the two there, then you understand that, man, it's really just about the effort. It's really just about the practice, but more so, it's really just about the authenticity of knowing that the way I believe has been chosen by my own thinking, my own understanding, and I'm willing to die on my sword. And I think if we can choose to experience reality in that way, that I know I'm authentic, I know that I'm trying my best to be the best me, and whatever choice I make, I could die on that sword because I know it came from what I value, what I find meaningful. Then all the stuff that we have to face will be placed on something that makes us better for the experience itself. And that's what I'm taking from episode 44. Mindset Monday 40. I'm just feeling so grateful right now. This is so cool. Thank you guys so much for any supporters of the show. Seriously, we just absolutely love the opportunity that we can do this. I hope that Anthony and I coming together brings value to your life. I hope it inspires you to pursue self-knowledge. I hope it inspires you to pursue the mysteries of life. But ultimately, at the same time, I hope it just kind of opens your mind and starts helping you ask those questions that will get us to understanding ourselves a little bit better. And for me, going into this show was, man, the experience of reality is happening, but I need to find a way to make sure that what I'm believing about it helps me feel good, which will in turn influence my thoughts, and my behavior and the outcomes going back into experience, and then we just run the process again. But if there's one thing I want us to focus on this week, let's start with the beliefs. And if you have some negative beliefs about yourself or others or the world, it's okay. But just start asking the questions. Why do I believe like that? And just make sure that it's authentic to you. And just give us feedback. Let us know if that little process right there helps. It's what I'm going to try to do my best at. Mindset Monday 40. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Have a wonderful week. Love y'all.